I saw The Boys in the Boat, which is about the junior varsity University of Washington crew team in like 38 that ended up making it to the Olympics and winning the gold. And I saw the trailer and I honestly wasn't super interested in seeing it, but I did, you know, my parents wanted to go see something for Christmas. So I'm like, you know what? It's about the University of Washington. They both went to the University of Washington. So of course they're going to love it. So I saw it with them. And when I saw the trailer, I saw that it was directed by George Clooney. And honestly, when I went into this movie, I assumed it was his directorial debut. I think that probably would have been more, I would be more forgiving in this review if it had been his directorial debut. But I found out he's actually been directing for 20 years and this is like his 9th film. So he has no excuse for the complete lack of a visual style in this film. And as far as like a sports movie, especially a movie about like team sports, like they keep hammering home about how crew is like one of the most difficult team sports because all 8 members have to basically think as one and like really, you know, be a cohesive whole, except that the film really only focuses on like 1 or 2 of the members of the team. Like, I couldn't tell you the names of basically anybody else on the team. There's a moment late in the 3rd act where like the main character has a conflict with one of the other members of the team and almost quits the team because of it. And like the conflict that he had with that team member, because it wasn't set like near the boat or anything like that, I genuinely wasn't aware that the guy he was fighting was part of his team at first. It wasn't well set up. They all kind of look like generic white guys, which, you know, they were all white guys. Like, you know, it's a real team and stuff, but there really wasn't enough work done to like give every member of the team like an individual personality and style and stuff like that. I didn't feel it. And like the movie ends with a flash forward to the main character reminiscing back on that, and he's talking to his grandson who was just like asking him, is like, so you were on a team with 8 people? And he's like, no, we were 1, which really didn't mesh with the actual execution of the film. I didn't feel like they were 1 person, you know? They never really built that up. There's also just some of the just general filmmaking technique in this movie is very amateurish, and there's like some misuse of film language. Like for a lot of the rowing stuff, there are a couple times where they do like a close-up shot of like the oar hinges on the boat, and like the way that like they kind of shake and the sound effect that they play where it like kind of jostles a little bit. It sets you up to expect like equipment failure at some point in the film, because they had like 3 different shots where they do a close-up on the oar hinge with like some rattling noises, and it never happens. There's no failure. So it's like it feels like intentional incompetence to get to that point, because the film language all specifically was saying there's going to be an accident here with an equipment malfunction on the boat, and it never materializes. I don't know if it was something that they did film and cut, but then they didn't cut out all of the setup shots for it. I don't know, but if you know your film language, and if you're making an otherwise by the books, bog standard sports film, this seems like, I don't know. Yeah, it feels, I think the most likely scenario is that they set it up, they removed that bit from it, and then forgot to remove the other setup shots. It just came out across very amateurish. There's also a plot where they're at the Olympics and one of the crew members is sick, and they're worried they're going to have to sub him out for their alternate. And at no point does he look sick. And like, you know, sure, not all illnesses present outwardly, but they never actually say what it was. It could just be a stomach bug or something like that. But like, they never even do like makeup to make him look a little paler or have, you know, a more sweaty sheen to his skin or anything like that. He just looks exactly the way he does the entire movie. And the actor who's playing him being sick doesn't really do much other than like kind of double over a couple of times. He didn't really have a strong enough performance on his own to really sell me that he was sick, and I think he needed the makeup for that. And then like because it's set during the 1938 Olympics, Obviously, you know, that was the Berlin Olympics. That was the Olympics that the Nazis hosted. So yes, we do get to see Hitler at the Olympics, and they went for like the most we have McDonald's at home Hitler actor they could have ever gotten. He barely looked like him. He played him a little comically, but like he doesn't really have any lines. He's mostly just like standing in the crowd and like looking angry, and you know, like he the way he was playing him, I was expecting him to like kind of throw a tantrum when the US beats Germany, but he just kind of like turns and walks away. So like it felt like they were like trying to ride the line of him being portrayed a little buffoonish, but without, you know, going like full bore. And I was just kind of like, okay, he didn't even need to be there other than to be like, that's right, we're doing this in Hitler's shadow. And they also, because it's the 38 Olympics, they the main character briefly meets Jesse Owens, and he says, oh, you're gonna show those Nazis what for? And he's like, and Jesse Owens is like, no, I'm not doing it for them, showing the folks back home. And then the main character nods knowingly, like, yes, you're right, we have racism back home. But there's no other like moments where racism is even brought up in the film. It was literally just, hey, we've got the Olympics that Jesse Owens competed at, so we'll just have a brief reference there, and we can be like, yes, we acknowledged it. It's a very lazy liberal, hey, here's something we can throw in for like 5 seconds and not actually build upon it. And it's really weird because of every film that I've seen this year, this was the most packed theater I had been in, and it was for some really generic sports movie. And now, you know, full disclosure, I live in Seattle, so that is the city where the University of Washington is set. So it makes sense that a lot of people would be enjoying seeing their local sports team get a movie made about them. So, okay, there's that. But yeah, I would give it a pass. It's not even the best sports movie that I've seen this year, and the sports movie that I've seen this year haven't been that great either. So yeah, I wouldn't do this one. Hey, thanks for watching. Your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. I stream Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific and Sundays at 2 p.m, so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons, with a very special shout out to my Whale Shark tier patron Ryan D and my Anemone friend tier patron Pistol Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.